acknowledge the pride of Universe 11 with the brand new Jiren Acknowledge Me merchandise line featuring t-shirts in various different colors and sizes, shipping all over the world. And not just t-shirts, you also have hoodies, tank tops, sweatshirts, and yes, also mugs and face masks right now at a discounted price on the Geekdom 101 store. Click the link down below and get yours right now. Limited time only. I want to talk to you guys about Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 72. In 71, we saw the Heaters manipulate Goku and Vegeta and Granolah into doing battle with each other. The Saiyans were told that Granolah was this sinister threat that could be a problem, but also the strongest in the universe. And because of Granolah's wish, he actually probably is that, outside of the gods, of course. And Granolah was told that Goku and Vegeta were working for Frieza, who is responsible for destroying Granolah's world many years ago. These chess pieces are finally coming together into a huge conflict in Chapter 72 as Goku and Vegeta and the Heaters have arrived on planet Cereal and prepare to do battle with Granolah in the long-awaited, long-built-up fight in this chapter. Real quick though, push the like button down below because it really does help the video out with the YouTube algorithm to get it out to every Dragon Ball fan out there. And if you are new to Geekdom 101, subscribe, push that button and enable all notifications. That way you get notified whenever I upload a video, because we're going to have a lot of Dragon Ball news coming up, not just with this chapter, but also with the upcoming movie. And this is the place to be for the most accurate news on all of that stuff. So 18 days have passed and Goku and Vegeta are indeed on planet Cereal to confront Granolah, but Goku does not sense his power, so they're going to go and try and find him the old-fashioned way, which is using their eyes instead of their brains. And both of them have to deal with a barrage of ki blasts that are strangely deadly and accurate. And when they try to go in to attack the attacker, they are strangely surprised to find that there's nobody there, but they knew somebody was definitely there. So this is a great example, a great showcase that Granolah is not screwing around. But then suddenly they are attacked again by a multitude of ki blasts, this time from above. And Goku and Vegeta are having a hard time keeping up with this, even though Goku is using Ultra Instinct and Base, and Vegeta is apparently in his blue form, which of course multiplies his speed and his awareness and his power and all that stuff. They're still having a hard time with these blasts. Toyotaro is using this to show that even though Vegeta and Goku are trained by gods, Granolah is, like I said a minute ago, not playing around and very strong. And we see how strong he is when Goku is rocked with one shot and goes down. Granolah, hitting a vital point with extreme accuracy, is able to temporarily knock Goku down and almost out. I mean, he leaves him groggy with one shot to a vital point. So Granolah is not only very strong and very fast, but also now has knowledge of the humanoid bodies of the Saiyans and is able to hurt them without even so much as using a major attack, which is something that Beerus did all the way back in Battle of Gods, the movie, when he was fighting off the Z Fighters. Vegeta even remarks that Goku relies too much on Ultra Instinct and that he has not perfected it yet. So that's an interesting tidbit. And we find out that they only brought 2 Senzu beans with them. So that's going to be something that is probably a major story point here. So Goku, instead of using Ultra Instinct, listening to Vegeta, transforms into Super Saiyan and fires a ki blast at Granolah, but Granolah dodges and ends up behind Goku. Bro, Granolah is not messing around, bro. Goku confirms that Granolah knows instantaneous movement, as he refers to the technique right here in this chapter. So this idea of Granolah learning techniques by his wish to the dragon is indeed a factual statement. Granolah not only has a power boost, but also has knowledge of techniques that he did not previously know, which we discussed in videos, all throughout the last few weeks about what Granola's upgrade actually entails, and now we're getting more and more information. We find out that Vegeta has never heard of the Cerealians before, and that he is surprised that Granolah has a grudge against them, and Granolah realizes that yes, there were indeed survivors, but Granolah doesn't even know that Vegeta, at least not early when they first meet, is indeed Vegeta the Fourth, the son of King Vegeta, who was the leader of the Saiyans at the time that Planet Cereal was conquered and left in ruins. But Vegeta should not be blamed for this, but it seems like over and over again this happens, right? Like with Paragus and things like that. The sins of the father become the sins of the son. You know what I'm saying? And we do have confirmation that yes, Granolah can indeed use a technique that is very similar to the Hakai. Vegeta confirms it, says it's similar to destruction. And Goku says, does that mean that he can use our techniques? Yeah, Granolah is totally OP, dude. This technique that Granolah used is not literally the Hakai, but it's very similar in properties. And Prided Wife, a friend of mine, named this technique weeks ago Entropy. So I think we'll go with that, even though it is a fan name. We'll just call it Entropy for the purposes of these videos that I'm doing until we have an official name for this technique. Vegeta tells Goku that he wants Goku to fight him first, basically to get retribution for the shot that Granolah hit him with. But Vegeta came here to prove his superiority and the superiority of the gods of destruction over the angels, which is not really true. Vegeta does not really say that, and we know that the angels are leagues above the GODs, but Vegeta wants to prove that his training overcame Goku's, but also I think that Vegeta wants to let Goku fight first so that he can study Granolah, and then when he fights, he can know more about Granolah. Sort of like what Goku did with Cell so that Gohan could sort of study Cell. Vegeta's doing that here. Granolah asked about the Grade 8 form, and Goku says that we can't really do that transformation anymore, but I can do this. And then Goku transforms into Super Saiyan God, showing that he went from golden-haired to God form. So we have regular Super Saiyan in this chapter, and then Super Saiyan God. And Goku actually says that thanks to our training, we've got a bunch of transformations up our sleeve. Yeah, you're damn right about that. Goku and Vegeta has a lot of different forms throughout the years, which I've covered in the transformation guides here on the channel. So if you're new here, check out the transformation guide, which is still ongoing because we're adding some of the Dragon Ball Super ones now. But all the Z ones and GT ones have been covered in explicit detail more than any other video on YouTube. So check those out here on Geekdom 101. So things get even more interesting as the fight with Goku and Granolah begin, and Goku in Super Saiyan God is having trouble dodging Granolah's moves, so he taps into Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta explains that Ultra Instinct can become more accurate when used in conjunction with a Super Saiyan form. So this is some new data. Goku can use Ultra Instinct while using a transformation to enhance its abilities. But remember, this is Ultra Instinct in base, not the silver-haired Ultra Instinct, which is actually Goku's truest and final transformation. But this, I feel, was going to end up being confusing for a lot of fans. So just to understand the way I'm interpreting this, Goku is using the Ultra Instinct abilities, the technique, while using Super Saiyan, but this is not the silver-haired UI. That's when Ultra Instinct is actually at its max power and max speed and everything. Goku's maxed out. This is just him using it to enhance his Super Saiyan form. So don't get confused. Don't read the Instagram and Facebook pages that are going to confuse all of this, or they probably will anyways. Understand this is not that complicated. There's different sort of properties of UI, and the state of being can be used in a Super Saiyan form, but the truest version of UI is, of course, Mastered UI, the silver-haired form that Goku can use whenever he needs to use it when he's in a pinch. Granolah manages to connect on Goku's gut with a chop, and it doesn't really hurt him too bad, but it's sort of a showcase that Granolah's speed, despite Goku using Ultra Instinct with Super Saiyan God, is still right up there with Goku's. But guess what? that little chop that was meant to taunt Goku was more than just that, and was enough to actually rock Goku so hard that it knocked him out of Super Saiyan God. Dog, granola is not candy. You understand that? And again, we find out that Granolah was targeting Goku using a vital point. So this guy is a real challenge for our heroes. And by the way, I loved it. This is one of my favorite chapters, probably my favorite chapter so far in this arc. I just want to tell you that right off the hop. I really like what Toyotaro's doing here, and I really like that it explained new things, and I really like that Toyotaro is really writing Granolah to be somebody who is impressed with Goku, but still has these incredible abilities. And I like that the Saiyans are being challenged physically as well as mentally in a way. You know what I'm saying? Granolah says that as Goku was dodging, he observed his blood flow and muscle movements and learned exactly where to strike. And Granolah is really cool here. Like, I actually really like that. And I really like that we're learning more about Ultra Instinct as each sort of story arc and each chapter progresses, that we don't really know everything about how UI works, but we're learning more and more about how Goku can utilize UI. And I want to clarify that Goku's not necessarily stacking UI's power with Super Saiyan God. That's not what he did. He is instead using the properties of UI, the technique, to make his limbs move on their own while still using the power of Super Saiyan God. So I may have to do a different video on that because it needs to be explained, because I know people are going to get confused by this, and as y'all know, when it comes to explaining things, I'm pretty much second to none here on YouTube. Not trying to be egotistical, but I am really proud of the fact that I'm good at explaining things, you know, so I want to do that for you guys, and I will very soon. Also, before I go any further, as we're not done yet, I want to say that I am going to be streaming this Saturday afternoon about this chapter. So make sure that you're there this Saturday here on the channel. And if you're new, subscribe and hit the notifications so that you know exactly what time that's going to go up. It will be Saturday afternoon. And hit a like if you haven't done that yet, because it does help out this review. So, Granolah has defeated Goku using his incredible new abilities. Meanwhile, Vegeta is starting to remember the Cerealians as a race known for having incredibly evolved right eyes. So it's all starting to come back to him from stuff that he probably heard when he was a kid. So as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, okay, well, if Vegeta knows that their right eye is evolved, perhaps the key to beating Granolah is to go after that right eye. And that could be the strategy utilized by the characters that are going to be fighting against Granolah. And as we predicted, me and several of you guys as well, we prophesized this. Granolah mentions Goku working for Frieza and extracting Frieza's location. And Goku's like, what do you mean Frieza? What are you talking about? And it seems like Granolah does not believe Goku and thinks that he's playing dumb. But Goku's starting to realize that he may have been bamboozled because he thought Granolah was a bad guy. But if Granolah doesn't like Frieza, he can't be all that bad, right? So that's already coming to fruition here. Granolah powers up and gloats that he is the strongest in every single way. But Goku says, yeah, but I've trained a lot, so you can't claim that. And that was pretty cool. That was actually stuff we talked about, how maybe Goku, in his training in the past few, weeks or whatever, months, however long it's been since Granolah made that wish, has maybe surpassed Granolah in his max power, of course. Goku then powers up into Super Saiyan Blue. And remember, even with Super Saiyan Blue, he can utilize the properties of Ultra Instinct. And it seems like the inhabitants of the entire planet Cereal are sensing the tremors of this tremendous battle. I don't know about y'all, but I dig this chapter, yo. I'm digging it. And as this chapter comes to an end, Goku and Super Saiyan Blue is fighting Granolah, and Vegeta is starting to remember who he may be, or who he may remember his race being at the very least. And that is our cliffhanger. So I like this chapter a lot. More on this chapter Saturday in the stream, and I look forward to talking to you guys, and I'll have more videos on it very soon. For now, thanks for watching.